Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I know, I've been gone a minute, but I hope everybody's been doing great. And now I'm back to share a horrific story with you out of Gaston County, North Carolina. On Tuesday evening, April 18th, according to a neighbor, 24-year-old Robert Singletary was known for yelling at kids in his neighborhood. But Tuesday evening, he took his anger out over the edge when little 6-year-old Kinsley White was playing basketball with other kids in their neighborhood and their ball rolled into his yard next door. The neighbor who witnessed the insanity that happened next said he watched Singletary come out of his house with gun in hand and start shooting. The neighbor said he screamed for everyone to get down or get inside, but it was too late. Little Kinsley White was hit in the face with a bullet. Her father said he ran to her, then Singletary shot him in the back. He said he tried to divert Singletary's attention away from the other children, but he just kept shooting. Little Kinsley's mom was grazed by a bullet on her elbow, and a neighbor was also shot at, but not hit, thank God. After the shooting, witnesses said that Singletary fled the scene, and after police investigated, they launched a manhunt to find the monster. According to Kinsley's mom, Kinsley suffered a bullet fragment to her little face, but otherwise she's okay, except for the fact that she witnessed her father being shot, she was shot, her mother was shot, and a crazy person was shooting at the people in their neighborhood. But her father is still hospitalized with a collapsed lung and liver damage. Prayers out to him and them all. Thank God they all survived. Here is a news clip that I'm going to play for you where her mother talks about what happened.
This home off Greer Street in Gaston County has been a safe haven for Ashley Hildebrand since she was a little girl.
We've never had anything like this happen down here. Everybody's always took care of our kids.
But that all changed Tuesday evening when she says a gunman opened fire in the neighborhood, shooting her husband and 6-year-old daughter. Hildebrand was grazed by a bullet.
It was very scary. My daughter actually got to come home late last night. She just had a bullet fragment in her cheek. Still scary. But my husband, he's still in the hospital. He's in trauma. I'm doing the best I can. I just wish they'd catch this guy.
Neighbors say it all stemmed from kids playing and a basketball rolling into the suspect's yard.
As soon as I saw him coming out shooting, I was hollering at everybody to get down and get inside.
However, police haven't confirmed those details, citing the ongoing investigation, but have been looking for 24-year-old Robert Singletary since late Tuesday night.
Detectives and were back out at the scene early this morning after basically we had teams out almost all night.
Singletary is charged with 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
This sort of violence will not be tolerated in this county. Our number one priority is to make sure that our citizens are safe.
Hildebrand just hoping the suspect is caught soon.
Just please turn yourself in.
Which he did, thank God. According to WBTV News, Singletary fled to Florida and turned himself in on the afternoon of April 20th. Wow, all the way to Florida. He got really far, huh? Singletary was already in trouble with the law before he threw his life away on Tuesday. According to news reports, he attacked a woman with a small sledgehammer back in December, leaving her with head injuries, serious head injuries. Great guy. He was charged with assault with intent to inflict serious injury, kidnapping, and communicating threats in that incident because he reportedly wouldn't let his victims seek help for her injuries. But even though they knew he was dangerous, he was released on a $250,000 bond. Released so he could shoot up his neighborhood. Make it make sense, please. He's scheduled to appear in court on April 21st regarding his extradition back to North Carolina. He's 24 years old. 24. And he's already thrown his life away. And he damn near killed a 6-year-old and her parents. And all for what? I mean, the guy obviously is out of his damn mind. But he's not the only one. There have been horrible incidences that have happened this week of people in the wrong place at the wrong time and being shot at and have been murdered. And it's been horrible. I've been watching the news. You've probably seen some of them too. Let me just go over some of the ones that have happened. On April 13th, in Kansas City, Missouri, you probably heard about this one. Ralph Yarl, a 16-year-old teenager, was shot by 84-year-old Andrew Lester after he went to the wrong house to pick up his younger twin brothers. He survived a shot to the head at point-blank range and a second shot to his arm. Lester pled not guilty to an assault felony charge. Yeah, good luck with that one. On April 15th, in Hebron, New York, Kaylin Gillis, a 20-year-old woman, was shot and killed when she was with 3 of her friends in a car that pulled into the wrong driveway in Hebron, upstate New York. Kevin Monahan, 65 years old, was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. He shot and killed her because she pulled into his driveway. She didn't. She was a passenger in the car. They pulled into his driveway. They were in the wrong driveway, and he shot and killed her. Unreal. On April 18th in Elgin, Texas, a 25-year-old man shot at a group of 4 teenage cheerleaders outside of a grocery store. After one of them mistakenly almost got into his car, she said she opened his door, she saw him in there, and she turned around and left and got back into the car she was in. And he came out shooting. 2 of the teenagers were injured during the shooting, with one of them, 18-year-old Peyton Washington, sent to an intensive care unit after being shot in the leg and in the back. The gunman, Pedro Rodriguez, was arrested and charged with deadly conduct. All because she almost got into his car because she thought it was her own. These people are doing nothing wrong. Someone knocks on a door looking for his twin brothers. Someone's in a car that pulls into someone's driveway by mistake. And someone walks up to the wrong car by accident, does nothing, but maybe try to open the door, turns around and leaves. And all of them are shot at, and some are killed. People, we need to be so careful out here. There is so much mental illness out there that people don't understand the difference between when you need to defend yourself and when you're just pissed off and you just want to shoot and kill. And these things, these stories, they're horrendous. They're horrible. A little 6-year-old was shot in the face because of a basketball. We have to wonder if there's any hope for us anymore. We really do. Seeing these stories, and I mean, I've covered some horrible stories. We all have seen them. We've heard them. If you follow true crime, you know them. And they're just getting worse and worse. But these stories, to be coming out this hard and fast after they are just people in the wrong place, maybe knocking on the wrong door, showing up at the wrong car, getting shot at, damn near getting killed or getting killed, it's unexplainable. And what happened to this little girl has scarred her for life. Now she's going to be terrified of everyone. How do you teach a 6-year-old who's been shot at and hit with a bullet over a basketball to ever trust again? I pray for her. I pray for her family. I pray for all of the victims who have suffered all of these horrible things happening to them. And I pray for the rest of us because it's not going to stop. And all it takes is pulling into the wrong driveway. Hell, how many times do you pull into a driveway when you're turning around? Going to the wrong house by mistake. I mean, now we have to be afraid of all of that, too. It's crazy. I'm going to play another news clip for you, talking about some of these other stories that are just freaking unreal.
Why did you shoot my daddy and me? Why did you shoot a kid's dad?
This morning, a 6-year-old girl and her parents recovering after they were shot by a neighbor, all because of an errant basketball. Authorities say 24-year-old Robert Louis Singletary grabbed a gun and approached a group of children after the basketball from their street game rolled into his driveway. According to police, William White, the father of 6-year-old Kingsley, noticed Singletary and tried to draw gunfire toward himself to protect the children before being shot in the back. He is still in the hospital. Authorities launching a massive manhunt for Singletary, who remains on the loose. That shooting just one of several causing alarm across the country. 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis was shot and killed in upstate New York when the car she was in pulled into the wrong driveway. Kevin Monahan, the man who allegedly fired the deadly shot, appearing in court Wednesday, charged with second-degree murder in connection with her death, the judge denying bail. The 65-year-old accused of shooting at a car full of young friends after they say they mistakenly turned into his driveway in a rural area 60 miles from Albany, New York, Saturday evening. Gillis, in the front passenger seat, struck by a single bullet.
Kaylin deserves to have her story told. And what a beautiful person she was.
And in this grocery store parking lot, just outside of Austin, Peyton Washington, Heather Roth, and 2 other members of the Woodlands Elite Cheer Company were heading home from practice when Roth says she tried to get into a car she thought belonged to her and saw a man inside.
I just saw like a black figure in the passenger seat, and I shut the door as fast as I could.
She ran back to her friend's car when the man approached her vehicle.
And then he just threw his hands up, and then he pulled out a gun. And then he just started shooting at all of us.
Roth was grazed by a bullet in the gunfire. Washington suffered serious injuries and was taken to the hospital. Police say the suspected gunman, Pedro Rodriguez, is now in custody.
Makes you realize what you take for granted pretty quickly that you do every single day when you never expect it to happen to you.
No, you never do expect it to happen to you. But these stories keep coming, and the horror keeps coming, and it's not stopping. All I can think to do is pray. Pray for all of the victims. Pray for their families. Pray for this poor, precious little 6-year-old who's never going to know how to trust ever again. Pray for everybody out here, just trying to live our lives, not knowing if one tiny little move you make, something that you would never think twice about, is going to end your life. I pray for us all. Please stay safe out there. Thank you so very much for watching this video. And please think when you're out and about. I know that sounds crazy. We shouldn't have to be so afraid of everything. But just think, maybe you shouldn't turn around in someone's driveway. Turn around in an alley instead, or find another way to do the things that you need to do without giving somebody an opportunity to hurt you. I'm not going to say something stupid like not let your kids play ball. That's ridiculous. This is beyond disgusting. And I'm so glad that this guy turned himself in. I hope he never sees the light of day. I hope he goes to jail for the rest of his life. I don't even know what more to say other than thank you so much for watching, and stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.